Welcome to our Wednesday interview. Today we are here with Autumn Argent. She's a registered nurse with specialties in maternal and infant care. Welcome, Autumn.
Thanks, Marca.
Autumn is also on the board of Sage Home. So she has been giving us all sorts of insight into kind of how we can best care for moms. So Autumn, I wanted to bring you on here because I want to know a little bit more about the maternal bonding process as it relates to the brain and body, and maybe specifically with substance use too.
Perfect. So there are some theories that relate to dopamine, and we already know the established concepts of oxytocin as those relate to bonding. With maternal and infant bonding, that dopamine production, that oxytocin production really leads to maternal-infant attachment, not just for mom attaching to baby, but baby actually attaching to mom, and healthy, positive relationship development out of that. Substance use disorder interrupts that process, not just in maternal infant bonding, but in the mom's life in and of itself, in her brain and in her brain chemistry. Substance use stimulates dopamine production, but it stimulates it to levels that are beyond normal. One article I read was really interesting. It said, compare it to somebody whispering in your ear for normal dopamine production, as opposed to somebody shouting into a microphone with substance use. And so you could see how that increased level of dopamine interrupts those natural processes and could potentially interrupt bonding. On the flip side of that theory, with bonding, with oxytocin, with moms being able to engage early on with their newborn, with their infant, with medications that could support them during the breastfeeding process, all of those things are going to stimulate her natural dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin production, which can help her overcome, particularly in early relapse prevention, early recovery, in stimulating her own dopamine production, in stimulating her own serotonin production, and overcome some of those cravings that can come with that drug withdrawal or with that substance withdrawal from her system. So in a way, it kind of meets the need. It provides positive reinforcement through her own natural brain and body chemistry, and it gives baby reinforcement through baby's body and brain chemistry, promoting attachment. In addition to this, not just the brain chemistry and the body chemistry, there is also a motivation factor that's involved in this, right? Moms don't want to lose their infants. They don't want their infant turned over to foster care. And we know, we've seen historically, those children that are removed from homes, it's harder for those moms. They relapse. There's not that same level of motivation there to keep that child with them or to strive towards a substance-free lifestyle. And so by providing a safe place where moms can bond, where they can learn, they can grow, care for that infant from the very beginning, that promotes that continued progression through a substance-free life and relapse prevention, truly. And we've seen this modeled in other organizations throughout the nation, but they're limited, right? They're few and far between. So,
yeah. Man, I think this is so important, Autumn, what you're bringing up is we're trying to create the best chances for being successful, right? And what you're saying is, by keeping baby with mom, we're actually giving them that dopamine, giving them those chemicals that they need to help them recover, help them bond. And I think that's so important because a lot of times that's missed in the mental health field of what kind of chemicals are they missing and lacking, and how convenient is it that one of those objects is their baby?
Right. And we tend to look a lot towards medications to fix that problem, right? We have SSRIs, we have all of our other branches, and I'm not a psych nurse, so I can't claim to know all those other kind of antidepressant or anxiolytic type medications. And then we couple that with maybe some different therapies. But gosh, if you could just give them not only the motivation, having baby with them, having that distraction of caring for an infant, for one, there's a lot that goes into caring for a newborn, but also the motivation of having that newborn there, and then the physical touch, actual physical touch that's secreting those, neuro-stimulating hormones that increase that sense of attachment and that bonding. It all comes together, it all makes sense. And meds might be one part of that, therapy might be one part of that, but the baby is such an important part of that, and that bonding with that baby is such an important part of that.
Yeah. And also, like you mentioned, the distractions are an important piece with the substance abuse, but also just the confidence that they have what it takes.
Right.
Like when they're constantly not doing enough, they're in that scarcity mindset and they can't really internalize it like, oh, I can do this. I have what it takes. So
Yeah,
it builds and builds and builds. So
right.
yeah. So
When they learn baby's needs, they can meet those needs of baby crying, and they start to learn the different cry language, all of that. It improves attachment, it improves bonding, and it gives confidence to our moms.
exactly. Yeah. So when it comes to Sage Home, how do you envision really keeping the body and the brain in mind as we support these moms going through such a difficult process?
Right. Well, so our mission is really to foster those healthy family attachments, right? That's really our mission. We don't currently have a place where those moms can come and reside in with their newborn in Northern Arizona and Flagstaff in particular. And so Sage Home provides a unique opportunity for those moms to come to receive perhaps parenting classes, treatment, be aligned with those services that they need to help them meet those recovery steps, but also have their baby and attend to their baby and care for their baby and keep their baby with them, which is, I think it's SAMHSA that put out an article on family attachment and family therapy and how keeping your children with you actually improves program adherence, it improves recovery, it prevents relapse. And so, gosh, we've known this since the early 2000s. So it's timely, it's needed now, and Sage Home can meet that need. So I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. I think it really gives, it's so fun to have all these different perspectives because each perspective kind of just builds on this momentum of this is it. Like, this is what we need in this community. This is what parents need to make it through this. And we have the capacity as a community to come together with that. So
yes, and support. This isn't a punitive thing. There's a need. These parents want to love and be with their children, and we can support that and engage that and create a healthier family, a healthier mom, and a healthier community. More than anything, we grow our community, bring ourselves together. So
yeah, well said. We can end on that note.
awesome. Thank you, Marca.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I'm so thankful that you're on our board.
Oh, me too. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye now.